What's up? Let's go.
Top of the evening. Tip in the evening. What's going on, everybody out there? Hope everybody's doing all right.
All right. Thank y'all for being here. And I
Yeah.
guess first thing we're going to be talking about is Trump released proof that Ilhan Omar committed immigration fraud by marrying her brother. Yeah.
Well, we know this. There's two. There's two.
Well, here's what happened.
The first one was a brother. The second one was to get him in, brother.
No, the first one was
Half-brother.
her brother that was in the United States. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, that's her full-fledged brother. She got married to him so she could get into the United States easier with a visa. And then she was U.S. citizen by this time. Her half-brother needed to get in. And so she got married to him to get him in. Right?
Yeah.
Now, we don't know if there's any consummation to these marriages or what. But now she's married to a white dude.
So. She hates white people. Especially white men.
Yeah. Well, I got a video I want to put up there from it's Alex Jones talking about this. Let's go ahead and check it out.
Isn't there like statute of limitations or something? How does that work?
Trump released the Ilhan Omar court records, immigration records. Damn right she married her brother. And you look at the photos of her and her brother that are in the post that I sent you guys, and just the arrogance coming out of his eyes are just, it is just unbelievable. Well, that's 1,000 years of them being the ruling tribe over the Somalis and the slave trade and piracy, and that's what it looks like. Look at those people. It's not that they're black. I can go find you evil ass looking white people. Newsom's got those same eyes. That's the eyes of a demon. 100% there is an interdimensional avatar invader in both of those people. Those people are absolute aliens.
I'll go with that.
100%. Predators, here to kill, steal, and destroy. Vessels of Satan.
Yeah.
We have been overrun, and in many cases captured, by a legion of evil. A culture, a spirit, a methodology, a system, a cult. And it rears its head throughout history. There are people that like corruption, like domination, like evil, like fraud, like torture, like murder, like death. And when good people aren't involved and engaged, the evil people get organized and get in control. And then over time, they die, they retire, and always more evil people get in control. And with that comes arrogance. And that's when the cycle always pushes to the point where good has to stand up because the evil gets so unbelievably flagrant. It's evil for evil's sake. The destination is the journey. The journey is the destination for them. They love it. And those of you that don't like evil and all its different flavors, you're blind because you don't think like them. And that's why people are so naive. And that's how evil gets away with things, because people don't believe the devil exists. Remember, that's the second big trick. Biggest trick is that good doesn't exist. It does. And people sit back and go, how has Alex Jones survived? How is he? He must be with them because you don't believe in yourself. Good is infinitely more powerful than evil. The fruits of all we've done has been good against evil. But people don't want to believe they can fight evil because they want to be lazy and say it's all over. So they can point at people with the best records, the best fruit, and say they're not real because it makes them feel big. And I don't care about people saying that about me because I know I've got integrity to the max. I don't have integrity. I am integrity.
He is the science.
I don't go around, I'm a good person, I've got integrity. No, I don't like evil stuff.
Well, you know,
I don't like every mainline imam literally
I can't. I'm with him on that. What I mean by that, I mean I can honestly say it. I am integrity. Like you, I it would. I don't know that every man has a price. If I have a will, I will. I mean, people have tried to get me to do bad. They've tried to buy me off. They've tried to do a lot of things, and it's not going to work with me because I know that the end result is when you start going down that road. And I feel it. I like how you stopped it right there too.
Yeah.
That's, dude. That's what we need. We need more people that have that integrity. I mean, really, and when you can actually achieve that and know that somebody can't buy you off, so that they can, because even if you make a lot of money, the end of the day, they own you. They bought you. You had a dollar on your, stamped on you, and that's really demoralizing. And I think what's bad is I believe that a lot of people that this has happened to, it wears their soul down because when they're bought, when they're paid, when they're compromised with money, they realize this, and then it starts to chip away, and you become more easily corruptible because you've already tainted your soul.
So
Is that
you think all the people that have sold out to Qatar or Israel or any of those other countries are soulless now by now?
No, because some people actually truly believe this. That's a different story. And those people don't have to be bought, but they'll still take the money.
Yeah.
But there's people that don't believe that, but understand that the money behind it will could give them a beneficial style of life. And
Well,
those are the people that are
I think a
sold.
lot of them take the money because first thing, I think that some of them already believe that, but a
Mhm.
lot of them are willing to take the money in order to, get wealthy, and whether they believe it or not, they don't care. The media
Yeah,
is
that's
kind of like that. There's people in the media like that because, you notice they don't talk anything about COVID at all, and there's a reason for that. It's because COVID has the mainstream media bought out.
right. Yeah, like I said, that's the type of people that would be considered soulless because they will. I bet because either they don't know or they're ignorant to the fact, but those kind of lifestyle choices tend to affect not just them, but the whole world around you. You set the world up for failure because of the decisions like that, considering the position you're in. And even on a smaller scale, like if it's just a small scale situation, that has a domino effect. And
Yeah.
people, if they don't know this, it's because they're ignorant. But the Bible even says ignorance doesn't give you an excuse at the end of the day. You will be judged. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Of their mouths, thousands of videos. You can go to their mosque right now in Austin, and all they talk about is global domination, how they're supreme, and how they're going to kill everybody that doesn't submit and rape all our women because our women deserve to be slaves if we don't convert to Islam. Not even looking, I see like 50 new video clips a day of it. You don't get pissed off when people are laughing at you saying we're taking over? If you look, I want to put it on screen later. I had my stack of stuff that I sent you. I'm just lost it or it got mixed in somewhere here. I've been so wild today. I got so pissed while I was getting ready. Reading this Epstein stuff. Trump released the Ilhan Omar court records, immigration records. Damn right she married her brother. And you look at the photos of her and her brother that are in the post that I sent you guys. And just the arrogance coming out of his eyes are just, it is just unbelievable. Well, that's 1,000 years of them being the ruling tribe over the Somalis and the slave trade and piracy, and that's what it looks like. Look at those people. It's not that they're black. I can go find you evil ass looking white people. Newsom's got those same eyes. That's the eyes of a demon. 100%. There's an interdimensional avatar invader in both of those people. Those people are absolute aliens.
Yeah.
100%.
It looks like Omar Fateh.
Here to kill, steal, and destroy. Vessels of Satan. Overflowing.
Look at that.
In love with themselves. Utterly disgusting. Bunch of perverts on top of it.
Hey, ladies.
Oh, by the way, Islam. Oh, my God. Just total perversion.
Yeah, there's his boyfriend right there.
Yeah.
We show you videos out of Afghanistan and other countries where they make the little boys dance for them and have sex with them.
All right. We need to stop.
Hey,
Let's go a little far.
That's the but that's really true
Yeah.
that they do that.
Yeah.
They really do that. That's
Well,
you know, the thing is
get too far into it. So
for YouTube.
yeah, we're on YouTube.
I know. But I'm just saying, like, but that is like it gets way worse. It gets way darker. My help that helps the guy that helps me in the shop, you know, I tell him stories about things of what's going on. And he listens to a little, you know, he'll listen to Alex Jones he'll put the earbud. He holds one earbud, I take the other, and we'll work on stuff. And I'll start telling him things, and I'm like, look, I'm not even, and his just mind is blown. And I'm like, dude, that's not even. I'm not even telling you the whole story because I'm not going to information overload you. I'm going to give you a little bit of what's going on. That way you'll, you know, if I tell you everything, you're probably not going to want to, you know, you're going to shut down. You're going to say, no way. But this is, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
so let me, before we dig into this video, whenever the information was released by Trump saying that, yes, it's a definite thing. If I'm not mistaken, that determination was, it came under the Biden regime in an investigation that took place. And it was determined that was to be true, that she had married her brother, did commit immigration fraud. However, somehow or another, there's the statute of limitations on immigration fraud. And I guess after that, you get a freebie. Is that how that works?
I don't think there's statute of limitation. Here's the thing.
I heard Tom Homan mention that. That's the reason I'm saying that.
Yeah. The only reason I don't know if there's a statute of limitation or not, but what matters is they're now getting her. Looks like she's involved in this whole fraud stuff that's going on there. And
Yes.
So you could actually connect all of it together and say it's a conspiracy and get her deported that way.
Yeah.
Right. Because conspiracy, if her getting in the United States, but with one brother, and then her getting her other brother in the United States, doing the same thing, marrying him, that's part of the conspiracy. Also, with getting money out of the United States, getting into Somalia, and also getting into like these terrorist organizations that are there. You could say that that's part of the whole apparatus that you're seeing going on in Minnesota, and I think that's pretty much the case. But that's my case. That I would say at that point, since it's part of the conspiracy, then it's actually it should actually be deported. Not only that, it's marriage fraud, which I don't know what the statute of limitations is on marriage fraud. It's also tax fraud. There is no statute of limitations on tax fraud.
Yeah, that's how they did the mafia thing.
Yeah. So anyway, have you seen this interview here?
I may or may not have. I've seen a lot of interviews with her.
Well, let's take
her voice.
People say you married your brother for citizenship purposes, but are you in love with your brother, Congresswoman? I mean, do you guys you guys sleep with each other? Is this normal in Somalia? Does he get naked and yell, "I'm decapitated now, sister"? Or what's the deal over there? You got some kind of stepbrother fetish, Congresswoman? And when you guys get naked and have sex, do you leave your headscarf on or do you take it off? People are saying you married your brother for citizenship purposes, but are you in love with your brother, Congresswoman? I mean, do you guys you guys sleep with each other? Is this normal in Somalia? Does he get butt naked and yell, "I'm decapitated now, sister"? Or what's the deal over there? You got some kind of stepbrother fetish, Congresswoman? And when you guys get naked and have sex, do you leave your headscarf on or do you take it off? People are
You know what? CNN's ratings would go through the roof if they actually did that.
Yeah, probably would. I just thought that was funny when I saw it. And also Ted Cruz, he came out and said, Ted Cruz, if Rep. Ilhan Omar married her brother, says she broke state and federal laws. No shit.
Well, so according to Grok here, I did a quick search while we were listening to that.
What'd you call it?
And I'll read at Grok. What
Grok.
is it?
It's Grok.
Well, I like to say Grok. I'm a Grok guy. Grope. Violations involving fraud and misuse of visas, permits, and other entry documents, 18 USC 1546, often fall under a 10-year statute of limitations as provided in 18 USC 3291 for certain passport and visa related stuff. Fraud obtaining citizenship and naturalization, they have a 10-year limit as well, just kind of paraphrasing that. And marriage fraud, general 5-year limit. So I don't know exactly when let's see. Okay, here we go. Grok. Let's see here. All right, ask Grok anything. When did Ilhan Omar?
She was she was elected in office like when Obama was in office, I think.
Her.
Yeah.
Bro, I just want to see what Grok has as a response for. When did Ilhan Omar marry her brother? Search the web. Let's see here. 45 results. The claim let's see, it stems from a long-standing, unproven allegation originating in 2016. So it hasn't caught up with us yet. See, there's your AI working real hard for you right there.
Yeah.
But proven records.
No, Trump released documents. The marriage documents. Hell, me and Romeo put it on our channel about a week ago. We did a video on it. So I mean, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it did happen.
Yeah, this is we'll throw it up there. Throw that up there, and you can see what I found right there on Grok. This is show the world there.
I can't. No one can see it, dude.
No one can see it, dude.
It's too small. Well, yes.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I can do this. There. That better. That better. You see that?
To claim that U.S. okay. Married 2016?
Yeah, allegations originating in 2016. So, yeah. That's long-standing, unproven allegations originating in 2016.
No one can hear you.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Anyway, so just that Grok hasn't caught up with that yet. So there's that. Yeah, that's a unproven allegation. If I'm not mistaken, the investigative journalist who was able to uncover that information was due to the fact that she was toking on an old nasty cigarette, and she put it out, and he got it and was able to run a DNA sample somehow or another and compare the two and realize that they were related. I think that's how that rolls out.
Well, right? Actually, if you go back I think it was like over 5 years ago. What's his name? Tucker Carlson did a show about it on Fox News.
Yeah, matter of fact, quoting that same scenario with an investigative journalist, can't name the person right.
Well, here's the thing. If it's not true, she would sue people. She hasn't sued anybody. It's because she doesn't want to go through discovery to find out what's the truth, because they'll be like this. We'll prove it. Do a DNA test with these assholes. We'll see what happens.
Bridget LaCron's gonna have to take her pants off, or his pants off.
Dude, you could fake that. That's like a weekend surgery. A
man-made
a man-made. Dude, wiener. I'm telling you right now, they can actually make it look pretty good. What you need to do, I'm telling you, what you need to do is actually get a DNA test. DNA test will do it. You don't have to drop trowel. I don't want to see that shit.
They can actually cut a piece of your forearm off and make a penis look that good.
Yeah. No, dude. She gets if she was a man, that means she got her penis cut off.
Okay, yeah. Well, so they make the man-made. Okay, I had the math all wrong. I was adding instead of subtracting there. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you're missing a digit over there. You're missing a digit. You're not gaining one.
Yeah. Like a computer, you got a 1 and a 0, and apparently I was confusing the 1 with a 0.
Yeah. What you're best off to do is get a DNA test and check out the chromosomes, which is really easy to do. You'll find out within
How
2
many
or 3
man-made
days.
diners have you seen?
I'll just tell. I don't none. Not that I know of. But my point is, I'm sure it's pretty easy to actually do. Yeah.
So like when a doctor gets done with that, he calls all his people in, but look what I did. And they're like, damn, that looks real, Joe. I'm like, you're getting really good at this. Stumbling through his phone to some of his beginning. Was look at that one. That was the beginning. Like, ooh.
Let's go ahead and check out this other video we got about DEI. What do you think about DEI?
Well, I think that's the destruction of anything of a meritocracy that actually makes things great, which would be what was happening to America.
There you go.
What do you make of what Trump has said about diversity, equity, and inclusion policies? He's basically suggested that they should be scrapped.
They should be scrapped. Yeah, diversity, equity, and inclusion are 3 wonderful sounding words that are in fact a scheme to do the exact opposite. It's to divide, and it's to create inequality. It's to revive racism, but this time against white people. It's all based on this idea that there's an oppressor and oppressed. It's what I call neo-communism, because the communism before 1989 failed. It was centered around class and economic inequality. But this DEI scheme is based on race and identity politics. And these things are terrible, and we've seen the outcome of that. So for the Trump administration to go out and say, let's get rid of this, I'm very much in favor of that.
What do you make of?
So, it just from her accent, it sounds like she's from an area that has actually experienced this tyrannical communist style takeover. Where
she lives in Britain, but she's originally from, I believe, I'm trying to remember, somewhere in Africa.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, and see, but Africa, communism, they'll do it in several different ways. It seems
Ethiopia. I believe she's from Ethiopia.
So she's probably not experienced DEI in Ethiopia, but they have a different way of implementing it. They tailor communism and implementation according to society. In other words, you wouldn't need to do DEI in Ethiopia for communism. You just do it a different way.
You probably never seen her before. She's actually really famous for debating first thing atheists. She's a Christian. Now she started off as a Muslim when she was born. You know, her parents were Muslim and blah blah blah, and then she moved to Britain and converted to Catholicism or Christianity, and now she debates people when it comes to communism because she lived under communism at one time. I think she lived in another country at one time as well where they had communism, and she's dealt with also jihadists as well as the government. So she understands all that crap, and she's pretty smart. She's debated some of the high level people when it comes to atheists, intellectual atheists, as well as intellectual people when it comes to the Muslim world and the world of communism, socialism. She absolutely obliterates them every time. But she's one of these people that knows what it is because she lived in it.
Yeah, well, and you know, I'm glad that you put her up there. I got to see that because it's the oppressor and the oppressed, meaning the only way you would have a diversity, equity, and inclusion situation is because somebody's being oppressed. But you don't get oppressed by nothing.
Well, the oppressor is us.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm leading to. In other words, if to have DEI, you've got to have a situation for somebody to be oppressed. Well, who is your oppressor? And through media and all of the media, they have labeled white people that because of the fact that we have because of the color of our skin, we have an advantage. And because of the color of their skin, I'm just saying this is what they think. I don't think this. I'm just.
I know. There's a little bit more to that, but yeah.
There's a lot more to it. I'm just sort of paraphrasing a little bit to it.
No, you're trying to make it shorter.
Exactly. There you go. Thank you. I'm using bad words. I'm not very smart. Remember that. I'm pretty observant, but I'm not very smart. I've said it jokingly in some of the videos that I were doing when DI was such a prevalent talking point when the Biden regime was installed. I would say this, all of this diversity and inclusion and all this stuff, I feel really excluded. I mean, for some reason, I'm not included in any of this. This is not inclusion at all.
well, that was the whole thing. Whenever,
yeah,
trans really became a thing, I think a lot of liberal white people, especially liberal white men, went to that, and it just became more of a fad for these people than actual reality, that they are actually trans. They actually think they're in the wrong body or anything else. That's the reason you had different kinds of trans. You had first thing is the whole thing. Them wearing costumes and stuff. The furry thing, and also you also have other things like I can't even name them all. But the point is, some of them were fads just so some white liberal people could get away from being just white and being an oppressed minority, which would be trans. You know what I'm saying? So, that's how I looked at it, because just some of the people that went into it is absolutely crazy.
have you ever heard of a guy called Nick Shirley?
No.
So he's
I
sort
might
of
know who
like
he is if we're gonna see him though.
so he's a guy that kind of like he goes in on the streets and he interviews people and stuff. Watch this video right here. You want to talk about when you're talking about the white liberal, that which is to me a form of that has to be the destruction of our country, is because of that, because they greenlight a lot of this stuff. But I think I've got the video pretty close to the right spot there. So let me tee this up because it's a 3-minute video, and let me get to where this guy right here you see kind of like runs down Nick Shirley and ends up in the streets while they're talking, and the black guy that's with him knows Nick Shirley, and so they kind of run together. But the white guy is like, white people deserve to be robbed, and and Nick
you're
Shirley's
talking
like,
about that guy. I know who he is. Yeah, it's
yeah.
guy on the street. Yeah.
This is their ideology, their mentality, being applied in real time.
Before you start it, that guy was actually at a Trump meeting when it came to Antifa. He was there for that. When he had reporters there.
Yep. So here we go. This is pretty funny, actually.
Help my mutual aid funds. You want to? Okay.
Let me see if I can find. Here we go.
Should. We should be calling out people. Honestly, he and I deserve to be robbed.
Who's we?
You
say we deserve to be robbed.
Yeah.
Okay, take his iPhone. Take it. Take it.
I use it for mutual aid. You want to help my mutual aid funds?
Give me it.
You want to? Okay.
Give me it.
Do you want to
Take his iPhone. Take his iPhone. You just said you didn't want it. Give me it.
So this is what happens to them. This is the mental illness as it has consumed this person with a face mask. This poor man, I'm using that word loosely, has drank so much of the Kool-Aid of the woke ideology that he has got zero testosterone, zero critical thinking skills. This person will not survive the real world if he has to actually endure it on a normal scale like you and I, where we have to provide for ourselves and be, go to work every day and do things. This person could never do that. And he says, white people deserve to be robbed. He says, well, then go ahead and take his iPhone. And he said, no, not me. Not me. I don't know. I help. I need this to help people. I help people with this. And it just goes.
Use this to help people.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
You want to go
Who
talk
do you
to
help?
Rhonda?
Who do you help?
I help Rhonda. I help my friend Corey.
You just said
I
you
help
deserve
my
to be
friend
robbed,
Omar.
though.
I help so many people that need this, because that's the way that I connect with people.
They need this.
I do as much as I can.
But no,
They
you
need
but
this.
you just said you deserve to be
No,
robbed.
they need
It seems like you need this. He needs a phone. He needs a phone. Help him out. He needs a phone.
You want this phone? Come get it. Come get it.
He said he deserved to be
Come get it.
robbed.
Do you know what Kofi is?
Come get it.
We can do that.
Come get
Look,
it.
We can do that.
Look, now they'll
We
take
can
the
do
phone.
Kofi. We can do Kofi. I use this for crowdfunding.
No, you said you deserve to be robbed, though.
I use this
Break
for
this
mutual
bitch
aid.
in my hand.
And you'll be hurting people.
Who?
You'll be hurting my friend Corey.
How?
My friend Corey needs resources.
Okay. How are you helping your friend?
That's it. To me, that's racist, because his friend Corey, he doesn't know how to help for himself. He has to have a white guy do it for him. What happened at the beginning?
It's all a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah. So in the beginning of that video, there's a CVS that's being like robbed, and so Nick Shirley just happens to walk in. He's like, "Oh crap, they're robbing a CVS," and people are just looting the place. And that's whenever the guy even says, "Hey, you're on stolen ground," and this, that, and the white guy's telling the other white guy got no business being there because for some odd reason, because he's put in the work, he's done the shaming himself. He's shamed himself into to the max that he is. He doesn't have to. He because of my white guilt that I have, I now can be okay around black people, and he doesn't realize that in itself is just
Well, it's just a woke mind virus. That's all it is.
yeah, yeah. But see, that's the thing about using DEI is what it does. You can take that down if you want to. Um, it not only does it affect, say for instance, productivity, creativity, and things that could be great because you could have great things, but you will suppress that to allow somebody to move up front because you want to give them the opportunity. Just give it to them because for some odd reason. That's one aspect of it. But the other aspect of it is people fall so far into making sure that somebody gets to be ahead of them that they put themselves in the rear and actually shame themselves and then harm themselves. And then that actually stifles production, not necessarily GDP, but just the human ascension in itself, in a sense, because what could that person that's wearing the face mask will never become anybody that's useful in society. Very, very unlikely he will come out of that mind virus and be a useful person. He might. There's always a possibility. But for the most part, he'll be a drain on the system, his parents, just a.
Well, no, I don't agree with that.
I mean, there's a possibility.
I think what more likely is going to happen is he's going to be the one allowing other people to drain from him. More likely, and those people will actually be draining from him so much they'll also drain from the system itself as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, he'll perpetuate.
I think that's more likely to happen than anything. Not only that, he strikes me as the type of person that'll help people to get away with certain things such as fraud, stuff like that. Hell, who knows?
You're right.
Who knows? He might even make it into prison.
That, or he'll be running the food stamp program. One of the two.
I'm telling you, I don't know. I think you're analyzing this maybe a little bit too.
Of course I am. I'm having fun with it.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead. I got another video here, and it's from Redacted. And did you know the Trump administration has created things we need to look out for? Not only that, a program where you can call on your neighbor and tell on them if they're a domestic terrorist, and you got to see the list that they're considered part of domestic terrorism. And I'm like this, that could be almost everybody. I mean, that could be like a lot of people. Okay. And
it's Trump crazy. Administrators, does Trump know about this?
I don't know. I'm sure he does. But anyway, let's take a look at it.
Well, yesterday we talked about a new Justice Department directive that plans to track and prosecute domestic terrorists, which is really not a thing. The Constitution does not allow for domestic terrorism because that gives the power for the government to define any dissenters as terrorists. Well, the Trump department is saying, yeah, we want to do that. Here is some of the ways that they are defining domestic terrorist beliefs. I showed you the document this came from, and I just listed opposition to immigration enforcement, extreme views in favor of mass migration. All of these are protected beliefs. Sure, they're leftist, but you're allowed to think those things, especially the last one, support opposition to immigration.
All right, if you look at this list, opposition to law or immigration enforcement, extreme views in favor of mass immigration and open borders, adherence to radical gender ideology, anti-Americanism, anti-capitalism, anti-Christianity, hostility to traditional views of family and religion and morality, support for overthrowing the U.S. government.
I think they're targeting the Muslims on this one.
No, I don't think they are. I think the ones that are really freaking out about this are libertarians. And I don't like it either, because I'm sorry, but a lot of this has to do with actually reading your mind, like anti-Christianity. What are we talking about here? Are we talking about atheists? Like, you're allowed to be an atheist in the United States. Atheism is like a religion almost.
I wonder if they've worded it kind of broadly, but you'd have to do something
That's
kinetic.
the problem. It's too broad. And I think, the thing is, there's nothing wrong with believing it either.
Just
and not only that,
just don't harm anybody.
Yeah, as long as there's not violence in it, it's fine. Support to overthrow the government, U.S. government. Good God. There's people on the right that should be in prison now. from thinking that when Trump was when Biden was in office, or when Obama was in office.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's just way too broad for me. You need to narrow it down, make it make sense. And I don't know. And not only that, the call line, they'll get to that in a minute. Let's go ahead and listen to it.
Immigration enforcement, extreme views in favor of mass migration. All of these are protected beliefs. Sure, they're leftist, but you're allowed to think those things, especially the last one, support for overthrowing the U.S. government. That's in the Declaration of Independence. So why is the Trump administration broadening their reach now and defining protected beliefs as terrorist beliefs? Here's the document that this came from. It was a response to President Trump's memorandum in September called Countering Domestic Terrorism and Organized Political Violence. Not surprisingly, it was in the wake of the Charlie Kirk assassination that the Trump administration decided to use it to expand their own powers and define domestic terrorism. Joining us to discuss is Ken Klippenstein from Clip News. This story broke and was published on their site, and the document was an exclusive download. So thank you so much for joining us. Fantastic reporting. Can you even believe, I guess I don't want you to reveal your sources, but it's hard to believe this is real because it feels so Orwellian when you read it. So tell us a little bit about the origin of this document and whatever sources you'd like to reveal.
Yeah, so I think how crazy it sounds on its face is part of the reason it's got so little attention in the mainstream press. I think only Reuters has written about it, and The Guardian, a British publication. But I put the document right there. People can go and read it for themselves. The Justice Department actually confirmed its authenticity just yesterday. So there's no question that this is happening. To give you a sort of crash course in what this all means, it's basically creating, in essence, a bounty system for reporting on fellow Americans who are suspected of harboring those views and being motivated by those views in furtherance of terrorism. And so if you look at page 2 of that document you put up on the screen a moment ago, it describes the FBI establishing a fund to reward tipsters with that they can send to the FBI about people that.
Okay. The other thing also it reminds me of is what Biden's administration did with COVID, putting a tip line for people that are not following COVID rules, and stuff like that.
Yeah, that I remember that. I don't recall. Did White Houses, was that a normal thing for White Houses to do that kind of stuff? Or is that sort of new?
What
these like? What we've seen with COVID, and then what we've seen with this right here.
Well, the Biden administration also did it with domestic terrorism. They considered being against trans ideology a domestic terrorism issue. Also, Catholicism, so on and so forth. There's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. So you could say that this is just their way of trying to 180 that, but.
Yeah, I think it goes too far. I think it goes too far. Not only that, imagine if you get someone in there like, I don't know, Numbnuts, the one in California, Newsom. Imagine what he's going to do with this.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Advancing these views. And my point here, if you go down that list, a lot of that is left wing. But some of it also isn't necessarily political, like not having traditional views of family. I mean, that could be bachelors. That could be, you know, non-Christian. I'm Christian personally, but non-Christianity. There are people of different. There are Jewish people. There are, you know, there are all kinds of different religious views that don't necessarily mean that you're a leftist. And so, what I would try to stress here is that, you know, maybe if the focus seems left now, it's being defined very broadly, and the next administration that comes in might have a different view and be able to define these things differently. So I think it's really important that people push back just in principle.
Well,
right
Ken, great job on this. And you brought up the bounty system here, which as soon as you said that, it just reminded me.
The other thing else I want to mention, if, you know, a lot of these things that they're taught about are, you know, will be considered domestic terrorism, that means you're actually supporting domestic terrorism when it comes to funding colleges, because majority of that stuff they teach in colleges. Makes sense of that.
So then you just, if they're gonna have that, then everybody needs to call that in. I mean, like, well, I'm just saying, like,
well, what I'm saying is it's hypocritical. If you're gonna fund it, then why would you say it's, you know, it doesn't make sense?
Because they get a lot of federal dollars, yeah. Well, maybe that's
the reporting that we've done here and talked about the DIA app in Ukraine, which was really sort of the USAID rollout of the tracking app that they would use in Ukraine to rat on your neighbor. Like, you're basically able to go right inside the digital, you know, boom, oh, my neighbor is, you know, might have a Russian flag in his living room, or might be doing something that I want the SBU to come and check on. Like, I know that sounds like, oh, that's a bridge too far. That would never happen in the United States. But then here you go revealing these documents. So I don't see it too far away now that we have all this Palantir involvement and everything else that's coming under the digital surveillance in the United States.
That's
the effect that this is going to immediately have. I'm working on a story right now. There was a very prestigious law firm in Washington called Covington and Burling. They put out an advisory to their clients, big corporate clients, saying that they anticipate that the effect of this memo that I reported on Saturday is going to be to have a chilling effect on speech. And this is a elite corporate law firm which has no activist interest in advancing one view or another. They're just telling their clients this is going to be the effect, you know, conduct yourselves accordingly. And that's what's really negative. I mean, even short of arrests and all the things that the FBI can do through the joint terrorism task forces that they have in every state across the country after 9/11, completely short of that, the effect we're already seeing, according to that law firm and just common sense, if you read the directive, is it's going to scare people and make them not want to express things. And that is a big loss, because that is what this country is supposed to be all about. Is it doesn't matter what your views are, as long as you're not hurting anybody, you can express them. And unfortunately, we're already seeing it have that effect, and that's what the intended effect is.
That's a great point.
Well,
the threat of it,
right? Yeah, it's self-censorship, which is also a violation of our First Amendment. If you are thinking that you'd like to get
some turkey neck juice, get some of that turkey neck.
Yeah, so the reason I'm concerned about it is because, first thing, we're going into a digital age when it comes to AI surveillance state in the United States, and Trump's ushering that in. And you're already starting to see what's happening in Europe with the amount of, like, perfect example is Britain or UK, 12,000 arrests, right? And you know what they did just recently? They postponed their elections until 2028. They're supposed to have them this year. Postponed it 2 years. Not only that, they got rid of jury no more
trials.
Jury trials. Only judge.
AI.
They're not using AI. Anyway, they're using a judge to do it.
Oh.
So here's the thing. We're downstream from that. Okay. Mm-hmm. And what I'm concerned with is it coming here. Now, I got a video here I want to show you, because what's going on Europe right now is really pissed off at Trump. And the Clintons have been going to Europe and for these meetings.
Obama has moved a bunch of his assets to London and stuff. You hear about that?
No, I'm not paying attention to Obama. But anyway, the Clintons and other people are going to these meetings for talk about these platforms and free speech and also AI, and trying to shut down free speech altogether. And this this guy here, he's on Fox News a lot. He went there to actually go and put his opinion out there for freedom of speech. And
quick. Let me weigh in this for a second. Now, people would ask, well, how could, what would Europe have to do with our free speech? And
it has everything to do with it. Everything.
Well, I know that. I know. I'm gonna address that. I
mean, where do you think the Constitution came from? It came from John Locke.
Yeah, but I'm saying on a financial level, this is how. So a lot of the times we need these social media platforms because they're so influential. So if you're going to influence somebody, you need a combination of the two to kind of balance things out.
Well, here's also another thing that happened. The EU just fined
140 million.
Elon Musk.
Yeah, $140 billion. It's some crazy money. So let me get to this. I'm gonna make this point real quick. What happens in the world of Wall Street and shares and stockholders and stuff like that? If you've got a lot of people that are invested in these companies, you have a certain due diligence to willingly make sure that you can't just sabotage the market, because there's some kind of thing about that. And I'm just being real bland because so if a bunch of other countries decide to force these social media companies with all these fines, and then all of a sudden they start losing a bunch of money because of it, the shareholders then become defrauded, and there's a legal thing behind that.
Let's get something. I want to get something straight though. These social media platforms aren't making money in the stock market anymore. The ones that are, what is AI, and also these bitcoins, cryptocurrencies. Like, if it wasn't for these tech firms that are doing these things, the actual stock market would actually be down, because right now you got 7 or 8 companies that are uplifting that stock market to keep it high. People don't realize that. Like, oil companies aren't doing shit, neither are like Walmart. There's safe bets. Don't get me wrong. There's some things that are safe bets, but the thing is, they don't fluctuate. Like, they don't go up and then go down. Right now, you have these AI market, the AI companies, and also cryptocurrency companies. They're just rising. Who knows when it'll stop?
Yeah,
it's a money bubble caused because Trump got in there and created it. It's actually created by Trump and his policies. But anyway, let's go ahead and check out this video when he's talking about the free speech and it come to the United States. I think, it could be heading to the United States. There's United States citizens there talking to these people in Europe and telling them to they want to shut down free speech from the United States into Europe and shut down free speech in the United States. So the reason that's important is because, the Clintons, Obamas, they're important because they actually still affect policy in the United States with Democrats when they're in power. So that's the reason I'm mentioning it. Let's go ahead and that's the reason they talk about it in this video. Let's take a look at it.
Free speech is in a free fall in Europe. There are 2 anti-free speech movements that have coalesced. One is in Europe, where it has laid waste to free speech. Germany, France, England, free speech has been eviscerated. And also places like Canada. The U.S. anti-free speech movement began in higher education, then metastasized throughout the government. But this has all reached our shores now. The Berlin World Forum followed the remarks of Vice President Vance on free speech, and the EU was red hot. They gathered in Berlin, and it was the most anti-free speech gathering I've ever been part of. There's only 2 of us from the free speech community. And they are committed. And, Hillary Clinton was there, and she really fueled the anger. I mean, when Twitter was purchased by Elon Musk, she called on the EU to use the infamous Digital Services Act, which is one of the most anti-free speech pieces of legislation in decades. And she called upon the EU to use the DSA to force the censorship of American citizens, force people like Musk to censor. It's an extraordinary act by someone who was once a presidential candidate in the United States. But they are committed to it. And after the World Forum, they further globalized this effort, and they are threatening companies like X with ruinous fines unless they resume censoring American citizens.
Now, to get on your point, the reason this is important, the reason I'm talking about it is because if a Democrat gets into office again, you think Biden was bad when it comes to free speech? Oh no, it's going to be fucking turbocharged, especially if they're an acolyte of Clinton or of Obama. And if it's Gavin Newsom, who's actually an acolyte of Nancy Pelosi, she has a little bit of both in her. Guess what? It's going to be really bad. Yeah, I know. I don't care. But anyway, it's going to be really bad for the United States, really bad for us on these platforms, because guess what they're going to do? They're going to completely wipe people out to disagree with their viewpoint. If you talk about COVID and talk about it in the wrong way, agreeing with RFK Jr., you're off. So on and so forth. That's what's coming if you don't go out and vote.
So basically, if we could get hold of Susie Wiles and tell her to quit screwing around and stop having Trump do a bunch of dumb stuff, and like Trump, hey, quit screwing around. We need to
actually. I'm not. Look. It's just not her. It's just not her. It's Mike Johnson. He's a big problem. Okay.
Yeah, he is.
I've been seeing supposedly Marjorie Taylor Greene, before she leaves office, her plan is to oust him out as Speaker of the Speaker, and I'm like this. I hope she's successful. I'm hoping she is.
Yeah. She's just not put forth that bill that talks about making it some kind of illegal, some felony or something to do any kind of modifications to a child's junkety junk before the age of 18.
That's not going to go anywhere. I'll tell you that it won't.
But that right there in itself is a good way to show people what's going on, though, by them having to vote on it if it could get on the floor.
Well, here's the thing: someone's going to have to put it on the floor. He has to put it on the floor. And he's not. Not only that, he's talking about. We talked about this the other day. They're talking about shutting down the House in order to keep them from having a vote on whether or not the stock trading should be legal in the House.
Mm-hmm. Well, so the thing about, here's the thing that, and I'm just thinking, I don't know what relevance this plays, but if Marjorie Taylor Greene could get her message out, if she could get on some of the left-leaning places like in CNN and whatever, and talk about that and say, look, I'm trying to put forth the legislation to, and nothing else. I know a bunch of lefties are probably like, we want children to be modified that way. I'm using terminology for YouTube guys. But there's it makes for great clips for people to share what social media we have now, to showing people that Marjorie Taylor Greene is not she's not bad. She's not like people think she is. Look, and it would get her saying, look, I'm trying to get on the House floor to protect children.
I'll tell you right now that what's happened to Marjorie Taylor Greene is a psyop. It's been a very effective one against her. Started with Trump, and then it got on X and just kept on running. It's a psyop because what it's meant to do is divide people. Okay. Mm-hmm. And it has all the earmarks of psyop.
Yeah, exactly.
If you look at perfect example is climate change. If you look at climate change, both sides of the argument is actually a psyop. Because it's, same with COVID. It's turned into a psyop where it's meant to divide people instead of uniting people with one general thing. And that is COVID's bad. You would think everybody would agree on that, but no one comes together and talk even about that part of it.
Yeah.
Or talk about other ways we could do to fix things with it. It just, But with her, it's been a psyop.
It has, and it's sad because I think she's just great. She was a lot better as far as being America first. Yep, and I think she can recover from it if we still got some freedom of speech and some platforms, then she can give it some time for it to go away and get out there a little bit.
A lot of people believe she's running for governor of Georgia. I think it's a little late, but she could throw her hat in there if she wanted to.
I think she's going to sit it out for this because she knows that right now the numbers don't look good for anybody. She's going to wait. She's going to wait a little bit. She's going to probably wait a cycle. A menstrual cycle.
Maybe. Anyway, I got another video here. I don't know if y'all heard if you do about this.
Was it the ShamWow guys?
No, it's about Tina Peters. She got pardoned, but she's she's still in jail because it's state charges. But right now, they're probably going to go through the court system because Trump is challenging whether or not he can pardon a state charge. So,
yeah, we talked about this Thursday. We talked a little bit about this Thursday.
Yeah, I got a video about it here.
Then we could do the ShamWow video. You probably haven't seen that.
Hey, everybody. Tina Peters was just granted a full pardon from President Trump moments ago. We need you to call the governor of Colorado, Jared Polis, and demand that he release her. She is a federal witness to a federal election crime in Mesa County, Colorado in 2020. She has the only images of the Dominion machines before and after the elections. So please, I need you all to stop whatever you're doing. Get on social media, tag Jared Polis, get on your phones and start calling the Vista prison in Mesa in Colorado, as well as Governor Jared Polis's office. It's imperative that you do this. She has been in there for over a year, and the woman is very, very, very sick. We need to get her out immediately and get her urgent medical care. Thank you so much for your prayers, your support for Tina. She's a friend of mine and a friend of many, and she's an honest to God angel. And today we had intercessors I was with General Flynn earlier. We were praying for Tina Peters, and it looks like our prayers have been answered. God bless Tina Peters, and God bless America.
Yeah.
Now, here's the problem with this. The question is, can he pardon a state charge? Now, this has never been challenged before. We'll see what happens. Now, the argument is he can pardon this state charge because it directly has to do with a state election or a federal election. But here's the issue: there's also state elections on the ballot too. So I question what's going on here, whether or not. But I think it's worth challenging, see how it goes. She's also right now challenging in other courts to overthrow the decision. And also I think Trump is thinking about right now. They're looking into it because the prison system in Colorado is being investigated for corruption. By the DOJ, and checking it out, make sure that they're safe and so on and so forth. I think Trump might actually decide to take that prison and make it federal prison. If he does that, then at that point, all the inmates that are in there under the federal jurisdiction of federal prisons. That means he could say what needs to happen to a prisoner or not.
And he could just federalize all the prisons in Colorado?
No, he can federalize that one prison if he wants to.
See, that only problem that you run into is that they could move her to another facility.
No, not if he federalizes it before they move her.
Yeah, but I mean, if they fear that, then that could happen overnight.
Then he could federalize that prison.
Yeah, So I mean, that I hope that, and another thing that comes to mind is I don't ever think that I know that whenever Tina Peters was supposed to be making an appearance on the Mike Lindell Cyber Symposium with the evidence that she was going to reveal, they had tossed her office upside down. The people came in there to try to find this evidence, and they didn't find it. So I don't know if that evidence has ever been recovered, if she still has it. That's a wonder. I wonder what
she still has it.
Yeah. So that's probably why they want to keep her there until she's no longer alive anymore, because that way nobody will ever get that evidence, because she's the only one that knows where it's at, I imagine, because not unless she has a, what do they call that whenever somebody's not around anymore? Like an unalive switch. If something happens to her, then that whoever has that information is going to release it.
I thought I was going to say unalive clause, but yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
You can have one of those. You can have one of those in your will.
Yeah.
Get a key to one of her post office box. What's in there? Oh my God, it's a disc.
Have you seen the ShamWow guys running for a Texas rep?
Who's ShamWow?
Remember the ShamWow guy back in the early 2000s? The ShamWow, it was that Had that like.
Are you talking about the infomercial?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's actually running for Texas representative.
All right, play.
He's a Republican, conservative. Put the video up. I'll show you the video. Here's his here's his campaign video. Check this out.
Something creepy, looking at your TV. Who are you gonna call? Busters. Transmission light comes on. Does check for my dog.
This is real.
Who are you gonna call? Busters. I got ready to go. I ain't afraid to know. Busters. When the melanin in your skin is way too thin, who can you call? Busters. When the stench is home, in an overhaul, who you gonna call? Busters. I ain't afraid to go woke. I ain't afraid to go woke. Who are you gonna call?
So this is one of his campaign commercials right here. This is legitimate. He's actually running for Texas rep. He's doing these like commercials and these little sticks, and it's working pretty good. And you saw in the video, he's not afraid of no woke. If there's something creepy staring at your peepee, who are you gonna call?
All right. Is he a Republican or?
Yeah,
what?
yeah, he's going to. Yeah, we're conservative Republican. Yeah, yeah.
Huh. All right, let's go ahead and get to this other story I got here. And all right, in Syria,
that's pretty good though.
Did you hear about this ISIS attack in Syria? Two U.S. troops were killed, and one U.S. citizen died. He was I guess, someone working over there, got killed by ISIS.
I thought Trump had a big frowny face when it come to that. He would do something militarily bad.
Well, it just happened today, and here's a video of what Trump had to say about it.
If there's something creepy staring at your pee-pee, who are you gonna call?
So we mourn the loss of three great patriots in Syria. You know how it happened. There was an ambush, terrible. We also have three wounded. They seem to be doing pretty well. So we mourn the loss. These are three great people. And it's just a terrible thing. Syria, by the way, was fighting along with us. The new president of Syria is, as they told me, and I'm not surprised, he's devastated by what happened. This was an ISIS attack on us and Syria. And again, we mourn the loss and we pray for them and their parents and their loved ones. Very, very sad.
Mr. President, will the U.S. retaliate against ISIS?
Yeah, we will.
And will we?
Yep, we will. We're gonna bomb the shit out of them. Yeah. Okay. Here's my first thought. The guy who's the leader in Syria was the leader of ISIS.
Is that the same guy who had the White House?
yeah, about the White House. Yes, that's. Yeah, I mean, I'm like this. He's devastated. Yeah, okay, dude. First thing I had to ask, I was like, Trump's first administration, he wanted to get out of Syria. He tried to, and somehow the deep state overruled him and kept him there. My question is to Trump, or not question, I would like to tell him, please get them out of there now. There's no reason for them to be there.
No. Oh.
I don't understand.
Yeah, that's I didn't really think that was good PR having that guy in the White House. Even though he's supposedly he's not an ICE dude anymore, ISIS guy anymore. I thought to myself, that's just not good PR. I don't know don't know why that was. What he did that for?
He did that. He probably did it in order to make sure. Well, Syria is part of OPEC, so Trump probably made nice so he could get help from OPEC to get more oil to the United States because we're not energy independent anymore because of the AI revolution inside the United States to combat China. So now we need as much oil and stuff like that into the United States as possible because we can't produce enough because of that.
Well, did Trump ever get past the Biden and no drilling thing that he put in?
He got rid of it.
Okay, that was part of naming the Gulf of America the Gulf of America, I guess.
Yeah, some of it, yeah, but he got around it anyway. There's a time lapse on it. It was fine, but also
the gas prices are down.
Yeah, the reason they are down is because of the oil coming from OPEC.
Yeah.
The thing is, what's done in the United States has actually stopped the growing, or the growing of oil field companies in the United States from drilling. Because for them to actually be worth drilling in the United States, price of oil needs to be a certain price. If it's not over that price or at that price or over, it's not worth drilling at that point because of all the regulations. Now he's trying to get rid of the regulations, but there's some regulations he can't get rid of because they're important. That causes price hikes.
Yeah.
So I tend to look at it. I'm like this. When he did that, I was like, he needs the oil the only reason you do that is because he needs as much oil in the United States in order to lower gas prices for people and also to fund power for the AI and the crypto shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes a lot of power for all that stuff. And even doing that, still not helping because you're still seeing people's electricity rates go up. And we're subsidizing that as much. The electric companies subsidizing the price of the how much it costs to actually for that stuff with United States citizens actually paying into it.
Isn't that fascism?
No.
I mean, like government getting involved with private corporations.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could call it fascism or communism. It's either one.
Communism.
See, I guess the difference is it'd be more fascism than communism. Communism is where they're controlling production.
Because you're forcing us to buy something.
Fascism. Let me explain what fascism is. Fascism is where you are telling the company how to do things and everything, and keep it within the power structure you have of your government. But then when something goes wrong, it's not your fault. It's actually the company's fault.
I just was wondering because, like, I didn't know that the government sounds like it's colluding with a privately owned power corporation. Of course, they kind of do that anyways when they make people spend a certain amount of pay for, when they make the oil, or I don't know how that. Well, anyways, it just feels wrong that we're being forced to buy AI.
Well, we're not forced to buy AI. That's not what subsidies are. Subsidies from the electric company, how it's working, we're subsidizing it. That means it's kind of like with healthcare. The subsidy, it works the same way. And what's going on is there's so much power being produced by the that's being taken. I'm sorry, by the AI and by the cryptocurrency. The electric companies are like to say, hey, we're not getting enough from the government for this, so we're going to have to subsidize this and raise electricity
That's what I mean.
rates.
Well, then theoretically, we're kind of having to buy AI we don't really want.
Well, it doesn't really matter. We're going to have to buy it in your terms, buy it anyway, but it's not really buying.
It's not really buying, but we're paying for something that we don't really want. I mean, like,
well,
we need electricity.
Here's the thing. This is going to be the government's argument. You want it because we're combating China's AI. This what is, it's a brand new, I guess, war, Cold War with China when it comes to AI is what
Yeah.
it is. And whoever gets to it first wins. It's kind of like the moon race mixed with
I wonder
the
what
Cold
it
War.
is. Wonder where is the pinnacle of AI to call it it? Whoever gets to it, which I know what you mean. Like, whoever, it means there's no end to that. The it never exists. We just constantly keep building, which is dangerous.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't think it's would be it. But
that's what I'm talking about. Well, I mean, it is the terminology used for like so.
Well,
what
if you want to see, have you ever seen iRobot?
Yeah. Well, okay. Just yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I'm saying like, if we're combating a Cold War of China's AI, which we are, the war never ends. Because you never win that war, because if you become more powerful in AI, then usually what happens is that those people are going to build their AI until it's better than yours. Then you have to keep building yours better than theirs, and it never becomes okay, we're done. We've got we won. You've only won for a little while.
I think it does end, because at some point or another, one side's going to run out of money, because it's going to cost a lot to do it. Like China, they're building a new coal plant like every day. So at some point or another, they're not going to be able to do that and sustain it. They're not going to have enough coal to do it. And what's crazy is some of the coal we have in the United States, we actually sell to them. Like, okay, make sense of that. Why would you sell coal from the United States to China when you're actually in not only an AI Cold War, but I would say an energy Cold War with China, because without one, you don't have the other.
Yeah.
And that also explains why we're in Venezuela. Venezuela's got a ton of oil, but they also have a ton of minerals, gold. They have cobalt mines, so on and so forth. And also, I think it's a direct shot at China when it comes to that stuff, because they're part of that Belt Road Initiative. And they're part also of BRICS. Now, like I told Romeo, I was like, look, this could blow up in Trump's face. And he's like, well, how? And I was like, look, BRICS is already attacking the dollar. Before Trump got in office, when Biden was in there, the world was using the dollar 47% of the time of all transactions, right? If you look at when Bush was in there, it was 80%. It's dropped down that much. And now it's went to 42%. Okay. It's slowly going down. I'm sorry, but doing what you're going to do to Venezuela might actually make BRIC decide to turbocharge this and go further, because there's certain countries in Europe that are interested in being part of BRICS. And the two I know of that I can think off the top of my head, first thing, I don't know if you call them European, but they're part of the NATO, and I think they're part of the EU as well. Turkey, they're interested. And then you have France, which didn't surprise me. Yeah. But I was like this, imagine if you then have those two part of it, what would happen? I was like this. And I'm sorry, but they buy a lot of stuff from us, especially France.
Yeah.
So, I'm like this. You really want to uptick this? And I guess Trump really wants to do it.
I don't think they ever cut Macron's, not Macron, but Bridget. Yeah, Bridget. I don't think they ever cut her junk off, because I remember seeing pictures.
Okay. Anyway, all right. We got one more video we're going to show. Actually, I got a couple more videos. They're funny videos, guys. I hope you are going to enjoy them. This first one, I know Romeo's going to like. It's Magnum PI, Ian Carroll. Romeo, are you going to like it? You're going to like it.
Romeo, are you still out there? Romeo.
I'm pretty sure he is. Wake up. Anyway,
wake up, Romeo.
I'm pretty sure Romeo's going to like that. I don't know if you're going to like it, William. I don't know how much you like Ian Carroll.
I like Ian Carroll.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I actually am a fan of his. He's a good dude. It's the black guy drives the helicopter.
You're off the case, Ian. We'll take it from here.
Yeah. Fed, you've been by the Fed slop. Yeah, I like Ian Carroll. I've watched him kind of come up in the ranks there. Great researcher, and he put a lot of pieces together of different things. He does that's not easy work. He's putting in the grind.
He does a lot of assumptions, though.
Yeah, he does.
I think when you do a lot of assumptions, you miss things, and I've called him out on that. But
yeah,
I mean, some of the stuff he's dead on, and some of them I'm like, what?
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. Well, in that world, but sometimes those assumptions shake up the other side and make them make mistakes. So that's the one thing I've noticed, that like if you screw around with them and mind screw them a little bit. Like think about this, our side needs to run psychological operations on the other side.
Oh, we do.
And so that's
hell, we're
saying.
running on ourselves.
I said the other side.
I know, but we run on ourselves. We run on the other side.
Well, they do that to themselves as well too.
Yes, they do.
But that needs to be something on the forefront. So I mean, I like Ian Carroll.
All right, I got one more funny video. This one's cracked me up.
I think Romeo fell asleep.
Yeah, probably. Past his bedtime.
Open the bottle of wine.
What are you looking for?
They're twisting to open the bottle of wine. Did you see it?
What's it called?
Twisting! Something flicks. I need a password.
What?
And I can see. Something flicks! I need a passport and I can see it.
For what?
Flex! Idiot! Verilated the eyes. They put something in my eyes and they verilated it.
What?
They verilated the eyes. Idiot. Verilated. You know what verilated means? How do you put the smushy?
What?
How do you put the damn smushy already?
Hey, what they do to your eyes that one time?
Validated.
What?
Validated.
What they do?
They validated the eyes.
Did it help?
So. You think the miracles happen?
Can you see better?
Making fun of grandma.
Dilated. Dilated.
They violated. They violated. Get your Trump vodka. Go get your Trump vodka. Drink 4 shots. Shake it. Drink 4 shots of your Trump vodka.
Maybe my accessibility. I'm doing a good job.
Yeah. You get old like that, you have a hysterectomy, then your ovaries get took out, then you become real mood swingy.
Oh, did you see the Democrats release some of the pictures that have been released from the documents?
It's Trump pictures.
Well, here's one. Let me show you. Hold on 1 second. You cracked me up when I saw it. I was like, wait a minute. And someone pointed it out. I was like, yep.
That's from the Miss America thing.
Yeah. It was released 10 years ago. Right? And then
and the Democrats actually they didn't realize this?
No, then they released it and tried to redact the people's faces.
To make it look like they're victims or something.
Yeah.
I said, no, dummy, this is from Miss America back in the day.
Yeah. You're so stupid.
If there's something creepy,
dude,
staring at
I'm like this. I'm like, they're psyoping themselves. That shit.
Yeah, well, like Jasmine Crockett being called out, calling other black people who voted for Trump slaves, and getting called out by CNN. I think was it Jake Tapper that did that?
Yeah.
And she's like, "That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant." He's like, "Well, no, that is what you meant. That's what you meant. You know, you're saying they're on a plantation and they don't know how to get off. They don't." I'm like, and the thing is like, I call projection on that because the Democrats are the ones that have been the forefront of slavery, and Jasmine Crockett is on the Democrat plantation. It does not know how to get off.
Sorry, I just crack up with that face. I was like, throw it up there. All right. Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to have to end the show. We really appreciate it. Please hit that like button, comment, and share this out to everybody. And if y'all could, go check out William's channel. What's the name of it?
Ratchet Production Studio. Yeah.
And you got a second channel?
Oh, we'll fix it. We'll fix it with an exclamation. We'll fix it with an exclamation point. Check it out. We do a lot of fun stuff over there. You'll enjoy that. Yep. Thank you.
All right. Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Ezra Miller from when he got in trouble for messing with the underage girl. Bye.